in this case, the hatch, which is basically 2 by 2, 4 square feet, had an R value of 0. So we're going to fill that in. We're going to subtract the 675, the 4 from the 675, and we're going to get 671. And that was at R49. We know it was because we saw. And look what that brings the entire attic R value down to. The big thing that I wanted to impart upon you today is that sometimes, even if you go and you pop your head up into your attic just to check on your insulation, because you probably know that one of the best ways to fight uncomfortable houses is to make sure your attic is insulated, is that if you see insulation up there, and you might even see a healthy amount of it, that you might think that everything's good. But I'm going to show you a few reasons why that's not always the case. To take a look here and see how many times I see this type of thing where insulation is missing in the various parts of an attic. Most cases, and I feel like most people, the vast majority of people that are going to connect with this are immediately going to think about their attic hatch, because that is the one place that insulation usually does not exist. The next thing that I see all the time is insulation that looks like it's in place and it's flat and you can see from the hatch that it's there. But when you inspect it a little bit more closely, you see that it is not in contact with the surface that is intended to insulate. And if it's not in contact, it is absolutely unable to do its job. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you is that a lot of times there are just large areas where other contractors have gone up and done a good job on the job that they were hired to do, which is remodel a bathroom or put in a recessed light. But they usually leave the insulation in a way that really is detrimental for the homeowner in the long run, and nobody is even aware of it. So I'm going to show you with this tool that I have, and I'm going to break down a few different scenarios with attics that have good insulation and how detrimental it can be even if you're just missing 4 square feet of insulation. So check it out. In the one section here, you can see the R value, the weighted average. So in this particular situation, the total square footage of the attic was 675. But in this case, the hatch, which is basically 2 by 2, 4 square feet, had an R value of 0. So we're going to fill that in. We're going to subtract the 675, the 4 from the 675, and we're going to get 671. And that was at R49. We know it was because we saw. When you do not insulate that 4 square foot area, and that just shows you how detrimental not having any insulation in one spot can be. So let's just, for fun, let's increase this a little bit. Let's make it even numbers. Let's say it's 1,000 square foot attic. Let's say that right now there's no uninsulated area. It's an even R49. But let's say your remodeling company comes in, they do a bathroom for you. And let's just say your bathroom is 5 by 8. And they pull up all the insulation, 40 square feet, 960. Look what happens to your entire R value. Look what happens when the remodeler comes up and doesn't put your insulation back. All right, so let's take can lights. Let's say you have 10 can lights put in, and each spot is 1 by 1. So that's 10 square feet, 990. Look what your electrician does to your attic insulation if it's at R49 and they just put in 10 can lights and they remove a 1 by 1 foot area and they don't put it back. So these are just examples of how impactful having a nice, even blanket of insulation across the entire attic area happens to be. Thanks for watching.